the one drinking beer. I'm drinking water.
2 touchdowns a game?
Yes, in the game.
You're tripping.
How you high? No,
Greatest Super Bowl time.
I don't know what we're doing in that front office, man. Twiddling our fucking dick.
Ryan, I just need you to drink this.
Wide receiver trivia. That's what she said.
Her.
The fuck?
Her upset.
Are those crutches?
You can see Ryan's crutches. What is going on, folks? Welcome back to your favorite show on the internet. This is AFR, episode 295. I'm your co-host, Jalen Brown.
And I am the one you love to hate, because I'm always right, Malin Dennis.
Nestor, we cannot hear you, sir.
Because he's not talking. Oh. Okay. Maybe he is trying to talk.
Go ahead, June. We'll come back.
And I'm your other great co-host, Junebug Spade.
Like the cold mist rolling out of the Puget Sound to suck the living fucking life out of your soul. It is G-Money.
Jesus Christ.
All right, Evil Dead over here. And
I thought it was going to be a lovely one.
No. Our special guest this week, we have the one and only Coach Defense from the Electric Shock podcast. Coach, what is going on?
Gentlemen, how y'all doing this great evening? As he said, I'm Coach Defense from the Electric Shock podcast. Chargers faithful. We're definitely glad to be here, talk some Chargers football today. So if for those people who are unaware of what's going on with Chargers football, I will likely inform you of everything that's going on today. So I'm glad to be here.
Good.
Amen. Happy to have you. Thank you for coming out and talking nonsense with us for the first half of this week's show. So, folks, if you like what you hear from Coach here, his links are all down in the description below. You can find him, listen to him pretty much on any platform that your brain could think of. So if you're interested, be sure to check down there. So with that being said, Nestor, can we hear you now? Mic check. No.
It is unfortunate.
Happens.
You guys,
Oh,
Right.
okay. There we got something.
Nope. No, I lost.
I have like 5 different audio.
There you go.
There he is.
That one.
There he is.
There you go. There you go.
295.
Just like Argentina coming in the 79th minute.
That's right.
Coming in hot.
Let's go ahead and cheers to this week's show. That is the only way to have a successful episode. That's what I've heard for 295 times at least.
Woohoo!
Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers. Cheers.
All right. We were supposed to have the one and only G Smooth joining us tonight as well. Your favorite Chiefs fan. He, however, was not feeling the greatest. So he informed me that he would not be able to make it.
Does he only come out when Mahomes' ACL is intact? Is that it?
He is also on the same rehab plan as Patrick. So that is what I've heard. But that's all right. We will be just fine without him. So what we're going to do, folks, is that time of the year, the whole first half of this week's show, we're going to be breaking down the AFC West and all 4 teams in there, kind of going over their schedules, where we think everyone's win-loss columns are going to be at. So we'll always start with the team that won the division last year and then end with the team that came in last place. So just going in that order of which the division finished in last year. But I'm going to keep note of everyone's predictions, of course. and then basically by almost kickoff of the actual regular season, I'll put it up on the big board and we can all see what we picked. And it always is a fun experiment. And then, of course, at the end of the regular season, we look back and go, sheesh, where we were, we were out there. So
I've had a few of them.
Ooh, yeah.
again,
I don't like
this
my
is-
Chargers pick last year. Picked them to win the division.
Oh, well, there you
Wasn't
go.
that far off. Wasn't that far off. We were close. We're close. One for losing 2 tackles, we probably would have won it. So we'll call it that.
There you go. All right, so we're going to start off with the Denver Broncos first. And Coach, we'll start with you since you are our guest. How many wins are the Broncos getting? And if you want to tell us why and or any kind of games you've got circled on their schedule, go right ahead.
In regards to the Denver Broncos, I'm actually going to spoil it on this show instead of putting on my own show. I was going to save it for the preseason preview, but I really feel like the Denver Broncos will take a step back this year. I think Bo Nix is the legit pass or fail for them. I think that they are pretty much the ones that, you know, at this point that he has to be able to ascend or progress as a better franchise quarterback in order for him to pull this team up to the level that they can be, maybe potentially making the Super Bowl. You see that by them, you know, losing him in the playoffs, it really didn't shake or break their idea of them winning it or not. So you have to be a difference maker if you want to be a Super Bowl champion. I think we all can agree to that. So I think that being that everybody's understanding what the Denver Broncos are at this point, there's no guesses, there's no surprises. I really think that I really have them potentially finishing second or third in this division, hovering around maybe 10 or 11 wins. Again, they're playing a first place schedule. You know, the AFC is tough. It's only getting tougher in my opinion. So I think that if you had to be a too early predictor of where they finish in the division, I think it's hovering around, you know, maybe 10 11 wins. There may be a wild card team, maybe not, depending on who else ascends in the conference. But I do believe it's going to be a tough one. I think the Chiefs are going to bounce back. I think they're going to be a force to reckon with, as long as with my Chargers. So I think it's probably hovering around 10 11 wins is probably the ceiling, in my opinion.
All right. G Money, we're going to go to you next.
Yeah, you know, you look at the AFC West. You got Knicks coming off an injury. You got Mahomes coming off an injury. The Chargers tackles are coming off of injuries. And who the fuck knows what you have with the Raiders? Nobody. Even the Raiders don't know what the fuck they have. But the one thing you do know you have with the Broncos is a number one fucking defense. And defense will win you games or keep you in close. I've got them winning the division again. I got them going 12-5. And a lot of that has to do with their defense. I mean, that defense is legit. And probably the best defense right now in the AFC.
I'm not going that far. Houston Texans is definitely the best defense in the division, in the conference, or maybe the league. Yeah, they definitely had the best. And they lost some pieces as well on that defense. They lost a couple of key pieces. So I don't know if they're going to be the best. They're going to be good, but they're not going to be the best in my opinion. And they have a different play caller in Denver as well. Just a little bit of pushback in that space. But yeah, I don't see the idea of them being the best in this division or the conference for that matter.
All right. June.
Yeah, I look at the Denver Broncos, and I agree with Coach, and I also agree with G Money in some aspect. They're going to have the defense is going to be right there in the middle of the pack. I think that they're going to be decent, and I think that they're going to keep them in a lot of games. I think that defense is good enough to keep them in a lot of games. But I think that offense they have is rudimentary. There's nothing flashy about the Denver Broncos offense. I don't look at the Denver Broncos offense and say, I'm scared of this offense. Okay, I don't see that. I'm scared of their defense, but I'm not scared of offense. And with that said, I got them going 10-7 on the season. I think their defense is good enough to get them to 10 wins. And since they play in the AFC, I think they can get that. I think they're still top 5 team in the AFC, and I think they can get to 10-7. But the start of the season is what it's going to be tough for them. The Chiefs, the Jags, the Rams, the 49ers, the Chargers, and the Seahawks. That, ladies and gentlemen, is their first 6 games of the season. That is a gauntlet to start your season off with. But when you got the number 1 record in the AFC, that's the kind of schedule that you're going to get. All playoff teams. Every single one of these teams were playoff teams. They're going to have to run that gauntlet. So it's going to be tough for them to start their season. Like I said, their offense is just not good enough, I think, with a schedule like this to come out like with a winning record on this side of it. I looked at the back half of their schedule, and it's a little bit light, but the front half of their schedule, this is what's going to determine their entire season, these first 6 games.
So you said you got them winning 10 games, correct?
10-7, yeah.
Roger that. Malin.
Yeah, I have, because I don't know if everyone else used it. Jalen and I use it. Let's go ahead and give it a shout out here. The website that Jalen and I use, what's it called? Playoffpredictors.com, where we you plug in every single game for all 18 weeks, and it gives you a record for every single team. So it's about as real as it can get. Going through every single game of the season, picking everything, I ended up with the Denver Broncos going 10-7 and finishing second in the division. Now, that's not to say that I think they're going to be a worse football team than what they were last year. I just think that their non-divisional games being against the AFC East and the NFC West, that's a few losses. It's going to be a tough schedule for the AFC West. You got your own division in the AFC West, and then you're playing, in my opinion, the best division in the NFC. And you're playing, a division that had a team go to the Super Bowl and one that everyone always thinks is going to go to a Super Bowl. You got a couple cupcakes in the Dolphins and the Jets, so you're welcome with that one. Coach Defense says Nestor as he's a Dolphins fan. But I don't. The thing with Denver is that they were a top 3 defense last year. I do believe that they'll be a top 3 defense this year. There were times they were number 1 in some categories. Sometimes they were number 3. Seattle snuck in there right at the very end of the year and got the number 1. They were number 1 in scoring defense because we just beat the shit out of the Niners. But what my key addition that I think about Denver, which is so weird because I say they're going to win less games, but I think they could possibly be a better team. I think Jalen Waddle going to Denver and being on the other side of Sutton with Bo Nix and a Sean Payton offense, I think that could be interesting. Evan Ingram is not a bad tight end. J.K. Dobbins, he was averaging 5 yards a carry, only had like 4 touchdowns. They don't really run the ball that much. And you're right, it's not like a super explosive offense. But Bo Nix in Oregon, all he did was get first downs and touchdowns. And all Sean Payton did with Drew Brees was get first downs and touchdowns. Like, they weren't necessarily explosive. They were just very methodical. And I think this Denver offense is one of those that can be very methodical. But I have them taking a little bit of a step back just because I think the competition, they're going to be playing 5 teams just in those 2 divisions that went to the playoffs last year. 2 of them went to the Super Bowl, and of course, one of them won at Jalen. So I got them going 10-7.
10-7. Okay. Another 10-win prediction, Nestor.
I agree with Malin. Looking at their schedule, in my opinion, it's kind of cut and dry as far as wins and losses. I do think that first week they beat Kansas City. Mahomes is getting back from an injury. Whether he's ready or not, I think Denver takes that one. As far as that gauntlet, I don't know. I think we're giving a little bit too much credit to the other team just for the sake of the other team against, the Broncos. I hate to say it, but there's a reason why they got to where they got last season. Yeah, they could take a step back, but I got them at 12-5. I think they're gonna do great. There's some games in here where they're playing at home that I see them winning. Yeah, it's a tough opponent, but the defense is good. Waddle is gonna give them a different dimension in pass offense, and they're really well coached. So, yeah, I got them at 12-5.
All right, I'm kind of down the middle here. I've got them winning 11 games next year. I think, like Malin said, their offense is pretty rudimentary, and at times it's like, man, what are you guys doing? The addition of Waddle, I think, will be good, but it's just a matter of they're going to use him in a creative way. I doubt it. I think he'll kind of just be another cog in the system. And then defensively, I think they'll be one of the better defenses for sure. Probably top 3. But there's always a team that kind of surprises us defensively, and we'll see who that ends up being. I think they'll also make Denver's defense not look as good as it did last year. The murderer's row they've got when it's LA, San Francisco, been the Chargers, Seattle. I've got them losing most of those games. I also have them upset alert week 9 against Carolina in Carolina. I've got them losing that one because I think they're going to be kind of asleep at the wheel after beating the Chiefs the previous week. And I also have them losing to the Chargers the last week of the season because Sean Payton seems to like to play things really safe as far as sit everyone down, and I can see that kind of being they're just going to let them have it. I don't care at this point. So I guess it also depends on where things are as far as records at the end of the season. So, but we'll see what ends up happening. But yeah, I've got them winning 11 games. So we're all kind of in the same range within, a couple wins of each other. So
we're within 10 to 12. We're not going crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, coaching in talent will get you to a certain point in the space, and I think they'll win the games they're supposed to win. But the caveat for me is the fact that Sean Payton has handed over the play calling reins to his OC to kind of keep him happy because I think he didn't want to get him poached from other teams, maybe for a different OC play calling duty or a head coaching job. So that's a difference in their offense right off. Is he going to be as good as Sean Payton? Is he going to be worse? Would he be better? We don't know. That's an unknown. And again, like I said, the defense is going to be tested. They face a lot of good opponents, like I said, in the first 7 to 8 weeks of this season, and then there's no cupcakes. So if they get off to a slow start, and Sean Payton has been known for a little bit for getting off to a slow start, even when he's calling plays. If they lose the games they're not, in early on, it could he could be taking the play calling reins over, and he's going to try to salvage what they can. But that's already going to put him behind the 8-ball, in my opinion.
That might actually be a good thing for him if they lose a few games in the beginning. He takes the play calling back over.
Yeah, ultimately, yes. If Sean's calling plays is a problem. Yeah, ultimately, yes. I agree with that.
Coach is like, y'all stay around 500, just good enough, not bad enough. Where Sean's like, all right, you can keep calling plays.
You're right.
You keep that other guy calling plays.
There you go. But yes, there's some parts unknown here, and like I said, there's different avenues and different spaces that they got to add Jalen Waddle into the mode. What Bo Nix is going to be like coming off the injury. It's a lot of unknowns here, and I think you can give us so far with a good defense, but if your offense is terrible or stuck in neutral, those tough games you're going to end up losing.
Yeah,
I could see a situation where they've only won 2 games by the time the Arizona game comes around week 7. Sean Payton says, "Give me back that playbook," and then they smash the Cardinals. And like, see, I told you, it was me the whole time.
Yeah. Exactly.
Hey, Cardinals are going to be a good get right game for him if that's the case.
Yeah, exactly.
Go walk into the OC's office and say, "Look at me, I'm the captain."
Yeah. I'm the captain now.
All right, let's move on to LA. Coach, we will start with you.
All right. So, yes, the home team, the Chargers, yes, we are looking to ascend from our 11-win consecutive seasons under Harbaugh. All things point to we should. Health has always been an issue for us, so we always know that. It has to be a conversation where we have, probably be 80-5 to maybe 90% healthy going into the season, for sure, to get off to a good start, because we have 2 good winnable games in the beginning of the season, but that week 3 to 10 is murderous road for us as well. We definitely have to come out of that. I think I talked about this in my own pod that we come out of that above 500. That's a win for us for sure, because we literally facing the top dogs in every facet. I mean, you name it, you can go down the list. But yeah, so I think that we win those first 2 games. Have to do that, obviously. Then we get the actually, I'm looking at the Broncos schedule. That's the wrong schedule here. Bring up ours.
Do it all the time.
I was picking it there while we were talking. Yeah, we got Cardinals in Vegas. We should beat both of those teams. And now, obviously, we don't know what the new regime in Buffalo is going to look like, but they got Josh Allen, they got talent there. So assuming Joe Brady can keep this team on the same even keel or better than when McDermott was there, that's going to be a tough one. Obviously, the Super Bowl champs going to their home is going to be a rough one as well. Denver again. Kansas City, then we get a bye week, then we come right back with the Rams home home away from home game. And then we get the Texans who've given us problems in the last 2 seasons with that defense. So yeah, and then we round it out with Baltimore before we get an easy one with the Jets, hopefully. But yeah, it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one. But again, if you want to ever be able to be considered a contender, you got to beat the good teams, right? So it really just boils down to what we do in that week 3 to week 9 or 10 time frame. If we come out of that 4-2, 5-1, somewhere in there stretch, we're in good shape. I think that my prediction before our record, I think our floor is probably 11 wins again, like it was the last 2 seasons. I think we can get up to maybe 13, 14 if we're lucky. But again, that depends on health. And again, with our new OC with Mike McDaniel, him calling plays for Justin Herbert, he finally having a solid OC since Kellen Moore left a few seasons ago, which he's had his one and only, really good MVP-like season and threw for 5,000 yards. So I think we might see some more of that. 3-headed rush monster we have in the backfield with Amarion Hampton, Monty Vidal, and Keaton Mitchell. I like that. Receiving core is young and vibrant. Still wanted to bring Keenan Allen back for maybe one more year just to have that very veteran-savvy leadership in the locker room. But outside of that, David Njoku, I think offense is going to be humming. I really think that if you're a fantasy owner, you should get on the train with a lot of Chargers, because I think they're going to put up a lot of points this year. And our defense is going to be stout. We got some real big dime dogs in the room. Keem Mesidor in the first round. Khalil Mack came back for another year. Tuli Tuipulotu has been ascending to a Pro Bowl level player every year since he's been there. 12 plus sacks last year. So yeah, I think that we're looking to ascend. We do have a new defensive coordinator, Chris O'Leary, which ironically is a Jesse Minter disciple. He coached under Jesse Minter for the Chargers 2 seasons ago, and he runs the exact same scheme. So that's good for us in the sense that everybody as an incumbent will not have to learn a new system. He's going to run the exact same system. Our defensive backs are going to benefit because he is a safeties coach by trait. He coached the likes of Kyle Hamilton and Xavier Watt and things of that nature. So all the safety in the cornerback room should be flourishing. So I think that if all things point to the right direction, I think we can get to maybe 13 wins, in my opinion. I think that's the ceiling. The floor is probably 11.
All right. 13. G-Money.
That's what I had last year.
Yeah, I think something like that last year too. But I have questions, right? So both the tackles are injured, probably coming back, probably play first week, but are they going to be 100%? I don't know. That McConkey's injured. Not quite sure. We say they're all right because they were running around without pads. We'll see what happens. We'll see. And, is Justin Herbert fucking Dak Prescott? Is that who he is? I mean, I just wonder because he doesn't seem to be able to win a playoff game.
Watch him out.
I mean, let's be real.
The way June kind of
he's speaking. He's talking here.
I mean, and they do that. The AFC West has a fucking killer schedule. You guys do. I mean, first 2 games, Chargers should win. If you split those 2 games,
that's a problem.
It is a problem. But after that, you guys play Buffalo, Seattle, Denver, Kansas City, the Rams, Houston, Baltimore.
Yeah,
I mean,
Easy.
yeah,
Bird is wrong.
yeah, yeah. I got you guys going. I got you guys winning 9 games because I think that Murder's Row is going to screw you up. I mean, I just and heaven forbid heaven forbid
Jenkins.
you have injuries on the O line again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big if. I mean, but we beaten Kansas City and Denver early in the past 2 seasons. We split with them in the past 2 seasons, so we do that. We just do status quo through that time frame. I think that even just Xing out the Seattle Seahawks being the Super Bowl champs, we'll give them their respect. But outside of that, I think all the rest of those are winnable games. The Rams going to be a tough one. Houston, we don't know what their offense is going to look like. CJ Stroud's got questions, so I mean, we can manage.
He does have questions.
We can manage 14 points against that defense. I think we had a good shot of winning that game. If we don't have the problems we had on the O-line last year, I think we beat them in the regular season last year. So it all depends on health. I think that is our biggest catalyst. If we're healthy going into any of those games, I like our chances. I really do.
Well,
and just on talent and coaching.
Here's my question, Coach, that I want to hear an answer to, because G Money said something that got June upset because he's a Cowboys fan.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of the comparison to Herbert being the AFC to the NFC Dak Prescott? You're putting up numbers in the regular season, you ain't winning postseason. Is it valid, not valid?
I think it's completely disrespectful, in all honesty. I mean, just a talent level alone, I think Justin Herbert is way of a much bigger talent than Dak Prescott is. He is durable. He isn't. He isn't.
Dak has 2 playoff. Dak has more playoff wins. Dak has more playoff wins.
Okay, that's okay, but we also realize that we're talking quarterback talent, or are we talking about team effort and winning games in a sense? Because it takes 22 people to win playoff games. It doesn't take one person.
Has Dak won a playoff game since Justin Herbert joined the league? I don't know.
That's a good question too. But again, I think from a talent perspective, I think that privately, if you call Jerry Jones and say Justin Herbert's available for trade and we want Dak Prescott in exchange, he would do that tomorrow. I mean, let me just be honest.
I wouldn't want that.
Well, okay, Coach, that's not right though, because Jerry Jones is a racist. You think he wouldn't take a white boy with some long locks over a black QB? Come on.
Well, again, I don't know.
That's unfair.
He had Tony Romo.
That's unfair.
For years. He had Tony Romo and Troy Aikman for years. He dealt with that. He won Super Bowl with Troy Aikman. So I mean, he might see Troy Aikman in him. I don't know.
Yeah, Justin Herbert looks like Troy Aikman. He'd get him in a heartbeat.
Talk about the Cowboys.
It somehow came up. It always does. But somebody brought up Dak Prescott.
But they're supposed to be America's team, June. So I mean, if they're not, then we don't have to talk about him as much. That's up to you.
Please don't.
Okay.
From a Barton talent perspective, Justin Herbert's more mobile, more durable, has a better arm, better accuracy. He has all the superlatives. On paper, he's better than Dak Prescott as a talent. And again, the knock in the issue with Justin Herbert has just been his coaching, the offensive line. He said the worst offensive line throughout his 6 years, outside of 1 year maybe, and it was middle of the league. Dak Prescott has some stellar O lines, and he's still been average, at best. Yeah. So I think that you can look at it from that perspective. Justin Herbert had the lines that Dak Prescott had down, and or when he had it early in the career with Zeke, he'd be an MVP candidate every single year. That's just my spiel on it.
You see what I did here, Jalen? The G Money started a little fire in the forest. I threw a little bit of gasoline on it. I let Coach turn it into a brush fire. Now June gets to defend Dak before he even talks about the Chargers. This is beautiful. Go ahead, June. Tell us how Dak is better than Herbert.
No, I people always say that, but they play 2 different styles in 2 different leagues, so you don't know how either one of them would do. Would they be the same if you switched them up and put them on 2 different teams? I don't know. They play 2 different styles.
I know Dak might be better in LA. I don't know.
I don't know. But
I
the thing is, he's right. The Rams do not. The Chargers do not have the O-line that the Cowboys have had. That's the only good thing that Jerry Jones has done, is kept an offensive line together as long as they're healthy. That's the only thing that he's done. But I think both Dak and Herbert have suffered from poor coaching. I think both of them have suffered from poor coaching. That's a lack of coaching during this time period. And
hold on. Has Herbert ever had a running back like Zeke in his first 3 years? No.
We haven't had a running game since LaDainian Thompson, if we want to be frank.
Does he have a wide receiver like CD Lamb?
Well,
no, he don't.
What's his name? He had a veteran there for a long time.
No. The Cowboys have had a much better offense. Cowboys
Right.
have much better offense.
Exactly.
They've had more
But I'm
talent.
saying you're playing the AFC and the NFC. It's always tougher in the NFC right now.
Let's
The
be honest. The
NFC is
NFC was
tougher.
weak in that time frame, dude. We talk about the Brady and Mahomes era, the time Herbert's been in the league versus Dak being, in a weaker conference in its entirety. They only got comparatively stronger this past 2 years.
Hey,
If
watch it
we-
now. Sam Darnold just won a Super Bowl, so. Hey.
Oh gosh. Okay. Dak's better than Herbert. Let's face it. That's what it comes down to. Dak's better than Herbert.
Finish your point, Jimmy.
Oh, okay. No. So with the Chargers, it's because mainly G Money said it. It is tough to look at, what they're going through. I think they're a good team. I was rooting for the Chargers last year. I thought they was going to win the division last year. And sometimes with teams, you have to take a step back to move forward. And I don't think it's going to be a step. I think that they're going to go. I got them at 9-8 right now. I think I got them at 9 wins. But
Damn.
I think there's going to be a lot of close games with this team. I think it's going to be a lot of close games. And even Coach said it, they changed coordinators. They changed some things around. And so I think it's going to be a learning curve. I know. I'm just saying it could be a learning curve. Yeah, it could be a learning curve too. So we're going to see where they are. But I got a team with plus or minus 2 wins for this team. Well, I can see them at 9-8, but I can see them going 11-6 easily going back to 11 wins. That's because I think they can sneak in a couple of wins, and easily they can drop a couple of losses. But I got them. I'm doing a safe pick and going 9-8. That's what I'm looking at.
Mark this, guys. I just want to put that out there. clip that up so we can save it for later so I can review it.
Oh, we clip everything.
Love it.
We do.
Love it.
Jalen likes to put me on blast on social media all the time. All my controversial shit gets put up there,
Which is hilarious, by the way.
People just flame me all the goddamn time.
Yeah.
All right, now, Coach, I gotta tell you, man.
Talk to me.
A little bit of my record this year for your squad has to do with the fact that last year y'all burnt me. Y'all made me look stupid.
Okay.
I was like, hey, they're gonna win. I was the only one. I was up there. I was like 13, 14 wins.
Yeah, he was.
Eye on the
In fact, I think I was 14-3. I think I was
you were.
14-3 on.
Okay.
I was high on him with Harbaugh because Harbaugh is always a winner, even though I hate his ass. I mean, you talk about the rivalry with, Carroll and Harbaugh and the Niners and the 49ers, and then Michigan beat my Huskies in the national championship game. I mean, Harbaugh can sit on a dick for all I care. But now, going back to this year. All right, now. All the records are a little bit lower just because I value the fact that y'all are playing the NFC West. And I do think the NFC West is tougher than the AFC West. I think the Niners, the Seahawks, and the Rams, like those are hard games. Okay, so but I'm still putting them at 10-7. Put them at 10-7. Now, when I was overlooking what I did, that 10-7. I had them at 2-4 in the division, and that doesn't seem too right with me. I will say that over the last 5 years, you guys are 3-7 against the Chiefs, 5-5 against Denver, and you actually have a winning record, 7-3 against the Raiders, which I'm pretty sure that's where I put your 2 division wins at. Now, I probably could have gone you 11 wins and Denver at 9 if I gave you one of those. I could have done that, but I did 10-7. I do have question marks at running back. When you do got a little white guy running around as best receiver, that does concern me a little bit. Herbert, you were talking about him being more healthy than Dak. I kind of felt like Herbert gets nicked up a little bit. Not enough to take him out, but enough to make him less productive at times. Like he needs to stay more healthy, which goes back to your O-line that gives me some concerns. But I put them at 10-7. They could very well win 12. I am very much a believer in Harbaugh being a great coach, getting the best out of his squad. So they could very well win, like 12 games. But I got them at 10-7. Defense, I think, is going to be solid. I love the fact that y'all got Khalil Mack out there at linebacker, just because he came from the Raiders to begin with, and now he's wearing the lightning bolt on the side of his helmet now. I think that's a great FU to the Raiders. But yeah, I don't think 10-7 is bad. 10-7 is still making the playoffs in my bracket, but it's just as a wild card.
Okay.
But I still got them there. But I probably could have gone 11 wins. When I was looking at that divisional record, I was like, damn, 2-4. That's a little low looking back at it. But again, I had to pick every single game for 18 weeks. So I probably could have got 11, but we're gonna go with 10-7.
I understand. I think your prediction from last year would have been accurate had Joe Alden, Rashad Slater been healthy throughout the season. But again, Kane Crowd was spilled milk, but it was still, he got 11 wins with the worst O-line in the league. So I think that if we're healthy throughout the season, like I said, 85 to 90% healthy to start the season, 85 to 80% throughout the season, I think we are right in the thick of it. And I think that we could prove a lot of doubters wrong, and this offense will click.
To be honest, what made me look stupid in the AFC West last year wasn't even so much that I picked the Chargers being so high. It was that with the Chiefs going down the way they were, it was Denver rising as much as they did. I was like, you sons of bitches. And I hate Denver more than the Chargers, so I was really pissed off at that. Because I really felt that if the Chargers were going to take a step back, which is what I thought they would, which is what they were doing before Mahomes even got hurt, I really thought that the Chargers were going to be the one to win that division, and then that didn't happen. That was upsetting. So, but anyways, all right.
That's a point I want to bring up about the Broncos as well as that. You look at their schedule last year. They, outside of the Patriots, they had a really cushy schedule last year. They faced a lot of backup quarterbacks in through that time frame, which to me accelerated their win total, in my opinion. If they don't have that this year, you're going to see the difference, in my opinion. So I believe that was a delineating factor, reason why they ran away with the division. So, and of course, Mahomes going down and getting hurt and all that good jazz, but I think that was real big time move. Reason why they were at 13 wins, I believe.
I do think that the Broncos, the only thing I'll disagree with you on this is I do think the Broncos are a very legitimate good team. I mean, damn, when you look at outside of the Raiders right now, you got 3 coaches that have won a Super Bowl. So, and, Pete Carroll last year, all 4 teams had won a Super Bowl. Coaches had. So I do think that the Broncos are legit. I do think that it's very much a heated debate on who's number 1. But no sleeves, Nestor. What have you got?
I believe the tackles are going to be ready. I think whatever changes are happening in the play calling from Mike are going to work for Justin Herbert. My only issue is the schedule that I'm looking at and the games. I have them winning those first 2 games. It's just after that, from week 3 to week 10, it's very difficult. So that's the only reason I have them at 9 and 8. But other than that, I think the changes, I mean, they haven't had any flashy moves in the summer, but I think overall it's going to work in their favor. I think whatever changes they're making in the play calling is going to work for them.
I like it.
You said you're also at 10-7?
No, you said 9 and 8.
9 and 8. Man,
I really feel like I fucked up the AFC West in this when I'm looking at it. This is stupid. Okay.
That's why you try not to do it drunk.
Well, I was sober when I did it. I'm just looking at what I had the Chiefs at. And again, you're picking every game for 18 weeks, not looking at what the schedules are. And then you get to the end of it and you're like, okay, well, this is what I came up with. And so I know the next team we're going to talk about, I'm probably going to sound pretty stupid trying to defend this. So after Jalen goes, of course.
Me too.
I've got LA winning 11 games this year. I really think that after week 4, they're going to be a 500 football team, basically even keel. And then from there is when they kind of start getting into things. I actually have them going on a 3-game winning streak between weeks 11 through 13. I do have my Patriots taking an L in LA, but it is what it is. But I do think the Raiders will get 1 win against them at home in week 14. But then the next week, I've got them following up by hosting the Niners on Thursday Night Football and getting a dub there in prime time. And then basically from then on out, just winning the last 4 games of the season. I think those are all 4 very winnable games for them at that point in the season, which I'm assuming is going to just be an arms race to win out the division. Yeah, I've got to win 11 games because I think Logic or Coach Mike McDaniel, offensive coordinator Mike McDaniel, he'll be a great fit. I think him and Justin Herbert, they're going to be buddies. Those two are going to have sleepovers and text each other and play Xbox and whatever. I think it comes down to the Chargers, it's just health. As long as the majority of the stars can stay healthy, I see no reason why they can't win over 10 wins this year. So that is always the question with them, though. So we'll see. But I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say they can get to 11. So that's my Chargers.
And Jalen, I want to let you know that I sent down and received some tickets to the Chargers game, and the Patriots play us in the later in the season. So that should bode well for us winning. Fred will be nice and distracted throughout the game, so we'll be calling things right on his end. So I think we'll be good. We'll be good.
He can't resist, so you know.
That's great.
All right. Let's get on to Kansas City's up next. And we're going to start back with Coach.
All right. Yeah, so the health of Patrick Mahomes is clearly the catalyst to what they're going to do early on in the season. Based upon the time frame that he got hurt, I was telling the guys on my side of the fence on the Lockdown Divas Sports Network that they I think Patrick Mahomes might actually sit out the first 2 or 3 games. It's upon the fact that he got hurt in December. They say it's 9 to 12 month recovery, and some people say when you do an ACL, especially from an athletic position like quarterback, it really could be 2 years before you feel like yourself. I thought that him not coming back for that reason why they got Justin Fields as a backup might hurt their chances to really compete early on by being, I guess you can say, working things out in the early part of the season with a backup quarterback. But by all accounts, he's looked healthy. He's been throwing in OTAs, and he seems to be bouncing on that knee, and it doesn't seem like he has any residual issues. He's ahead of schedule with his rehab and all that good jazz. So assuming he plays, he seemed to worked out the issues with O-line and things of that nature. So they got Kenneth Walker, obviously, to build back that run game. They brought Eric Bieniemy back. It's going to be an accountability holder in the room, which Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce absolutely love. So I think they're gonna be back to their winning ways. They revamped their cornerback room after jettisoning everybody. Trim McDuffie and company all left the building by trade or release. So they revamped that. Spags is always, he's still there. Andy Reid is still there. So the coaching staff, on top of having Mahomes healthy, I think they're going to be a force to reckon with. But they have a rough schedule as well. They face all the opponents we face, in large space. So they are, dealing with a third place schedule. So there's a little bit easier for them in that arena. But it's just a matter of what his offense and defense looks like, early on. Andy Reid's another one that's tend to start slow. He gets things really going around about week 3 or 4. But we'll see how that goes. So that means they got Denver right out the gate. Indianapolis is a crapshoot. I'm not sure what Indianapolis is, in all honesty. I don't know if they're going to be a good team or they're going to be mediocre. Who knows? That's a crapshoot. But I do believe they can beat them. Miami early and got Vegas early. So they kind of got bailed out by the first 3 games out of 4. So they should get off to a pretty hard start. But they got the early bye. They get us on week 6. Seattle right behind that, Denver behind that. Then they get the Jets, Atlanta. Arizona is another winnable game. Obviously, Buffalo's going to be a tough one. Buffalo always seems to beat the regular season, but not the playoffs. Third. a really good game against the Rams on the 3rd of December. You don't know what Cincinnati's going to be. They're going to be really good, really bad. Patriots going to be a tough one. 49ers, us again, and the Raiders. So, yeah, I think that anywhere between 10 to 12 wins is definitely a feasible outcome for them. It just really depends on with the health of Mahomes. If he's really healthy, he's going to be the Patrick Mahomes that we know. He's going to be more of a pocket passer in his first year back off this injury, or is he going to be mobile? That is a question. So yeah, I believe if they get off to a decent start, they beat Denver. If they do that, they can probably go 4-0 before the bye. That'll get them off to a hot start. Now I'll probably put them at 12 wins. I think the floor is probably 10. So I'll give them 12, floor at 10 for my money.
All right, G Money.
Yeah, Kansas City is a tough dog to figure out, right? You got Mahomes coming off of injury. They added K9 to their running back core, which should really help their running game, because their running game was abysmal last year. But defensively, they lost both their corners, and one of them being McDuffie, who was an All-Pro. I mean, you can lose one and maybe replace him. See how that goes. But you're going to replace both your corners. So I'm not quite sure how any of that's going to go. I got them going 10-7, but there's a lot of, hey, they should win these games, but they could possibly not. They could be a repeat of last year, even if Mahomes is healthy.
All right, 9-8. June.
Yeah, Kansas City, and it does depend on the health of Mahomes and how it starts out. I got him going 11-6. It can easily be 10-7, or it could go to 12-5. But I think the tail of the tape for the Kansas City Chiefs is going to be that start. If they get past the Broncos in game 1, because it is at home in Kansas City, they could easily go start the season at 5-0. Because I do like the Chargers to beat them, but not in Kansas City. I got the Chargers beating them, at home, not in Kansas City though. And so they could easily start the season 5-0. But if they go 3-3 to start the season, it's not going to bode well for them. So, but I do got them starting at possible 5-0 and going 11-6. So,
All right, Malin.
Coach, I got to be honest with you. Talking about Kansas City may feel a little bit better because, again, picking all these games, and then when you look at the aftermath of all of it, like Gettysburg, you're like, son of a bitch. There's a lot of dead people, but there's a lot of people still alive.
Mm-hmm.
When I picked all these games, Chiefs ended up 13-4 on my record.
Wow.
Damn.
13-4. And when I was picking a lot of these games, there were a few things that I was taking into consideration. One, like you said, they're playing a third place schedule. Okay. So they got some easy, we don't know what, Daniel Jones is coming off an injury too. Who do we think is going to come off an injury better, Patrick Mahomes or Daniel Jones? Then you're playing Miami. Then you're playing the Raiders. Come on. You're going to play the Jets at some point, so that's laughable. Atlanta, we don't even know what Atlanta's doing. Atlanta's they're always supposed to be good, but they never are. You're playing Arizona. To me, that's a guaranteed W. Cincinnati on December 13th, I'm already expecting Joe Burrow to be hurt. So I think you're going to be playing a backup there. And then you play Vegas at the end of the year. So I was taking a lot of that in. Bieniemy coming back into the fold, I think, is a positive for the Chiefs. I think that's good for Patrick Mahomes. Kelsey, I think them and Andy Reid and Asana together is, you better close the doors, turn out the lights. That's going to be some hot stuff between those four people. Kenneth Walker going into the Chiefs, like G Money talked about. I think that's going to be great. Can he stay healthy? That's my only concern. The only reason why Seattle never paid him the money that he got from the Chiefs is because he was never the guy that you could give the rock to 20 times, 25 times a game for 16, 17 games. He always got hurt. So when he was getting upset that he was splitting carries with Charbonnet, well, dude, he couldn't stay healthy. He had such an amazing postseason run. Why? Because he split carries throughout the regular season. He would have been hurt and already on the IR if it wasn't for him splitting carries with Charbonnet throughout the season. So I'm glad they did that. There's just something about this team that when you start to count them out, they make you look stupid. And so when I was looking through these games, I ended up at 13-4. It's probably not going to be 13-4. In fact, I probably could have given you one of the divisional games against them and dropped them down to 12 to get you up to 11 instead of even the Denver Broncos. But I ended up at 13-4. That makes me nervous. I kind of feel like they're going to let me down like the Chargers did last year. And for your sake, I hope that happens. So, yeah.
I feel like you got a lot of PTSD rolling over there.
I do. You know what? Before it was you, it was Dallas, wasn't it, June? You motherfuckers.
Dude, like, how I keep catching strays out here? What is going on? I'm out of my business.
I love June, but his Cowboys fucked me up 2 years ago, man. I picked them to I picked them to go to the Super Bowl and Dak to win the MVP. God damn. They made me look autistic.
Oh, wow. I hope you didn't bet that. Hope you didn't bet that. Now he lost money there.
Oh, I didn't bet it, but I definitely looked it.
Yeah, that was a bad season.
That was rough.
That was Malin's fault. It was Malin's fault.
Started drinking heavily then.
Nestor, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with Malin. I got them in 8-9.
Wow.
You know what? I'm not that bullish about their team. Some of the changes they made, bringing in Kenneth Walker, that's great. I don't really see this team ever recovering and being back to this team that we all fear type of thing. First game, I got them losing to the Broncos. Like I said, I just don't feel like Mahomes is going to be completely 100%. They get some nice wins. Unfortunately, one of them is against my Dolphins. I got a major upset against the Raiders. I know it sounds crazy, but I think they're gonna get really comfortable, and it's gonna be a big upset. Other than that, the schedule I think just kind of speaks for itself. They're gonna win the games they should win, easy games, but then they're gonna, for some reason they're gonna go to Atlanta, and Atlanta's gonna play really well at home. Atlanta always has these 2 games that they just show out for, and I think this is gonna be one of them. But yeah, I got them at 8-9. I'm not a believer, honestly.
Jalen, before you go, I got to say that a lot of what Nestor said, it sounds very familiar to a lot of rhetoric that everyone was saying about the Patriots and Tom Brady before he started ripping off more Super Bowls. I thought all of us thought he was done. All of us thought he was done. Then all of a sudden it's like, what the fuck?
Don't utter those words.
Well, I don't think that they are done. I do think they are still in this kind of down period, hibernation almost. I've got them winning 9 games, so not much more than Nestor there. I don't think Patrick Mahomes is probably not going to play week 1. I just think that they may want to play it safe with him.
I think he is.
Chill out.
I think he's playing week 1.
Whether he does or not, and this goes for the whole year, I don't think he's going to look like the Superman that we know. Like Coach said, these things take an extended period of time to come back from. I don't give a damn if whose wedding he was dancing at or whatever. Doesn't matter. Him playing NFL football, I think is going to look a little kind of shaky, especially because the team around him isn't those highly talented teams that we've seen them have in the past. I don't really care who's playing quarterback for them right now. Their roster is not that impressive. So I've got them losing to Denver, they do have their fair share of just weird teams in here. Like you said, Malin, Indy is always strange. They had a grandfather playing for them last year at one point.
Hey, leave Philip alone. Need healthcare.
Yeah,
That's right, man.
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
like popping another kid, man.
we're gonna
That's
see him again in
expensive.
5 years. We're gonna see him again in 5 years. He's gonna
Right
play
before
for
the coverage
somebody.
runs out. Right before the coverage runs out, he gonna run.
Yeah,
run up.
you're like, listen, man.
But he's a
Be
great
50 years
fan.
old trying to play quarterback. That's crazy.
You're like, listen, man. Let me be a holder for the extra points. I'll be a backup quarterback.
That's
I
funny.
mean, Pittsburgh will be looking at him going,
wow.
back in the day.
Oh God.
Wow.
That man could barely fit in the jersey last year. That was he looked me he in a jersey last year. He looked like me in a t-shirt. He's just like, you try to suck it in, it ain't working. You try to no, it ain't there.
Hey man, you spent 5 years coaching and making babies, man. What'd you expect? What'd you expect?
Well, he's been making babies for a long time.
That he has. That's one thing he's good at.
Making
Playing
babies burns calories, though. It's not like the same for the women.
Well,
Depend on how long it
Yeah.
takes you.
raising
Depend on how long it
babies.
takes you. Yeah.
I tell
You
you,
know, he does
making
two
them-
things well: making babies and throwing touchdown passes. I give him that. I give him that.
Yeah, I've got the Chiefs winning 9 games. I think they're still in a weird period right now where you won't see them in the playoffs, and they're still figuring out their roster. So, yeah, 9 wins for me. All right,
The only thing I got to say, Jalen, before we go to break,
we still have Vegas.
did your
We got the
boy...
Raiders.
Oh, yeah, we still got the Raiders. Damn. Okay,
See,
I
everyone
forgot
forgets
about
about
them
the
like all of
Raiders.
America.
We can skip the Raiders. I'm fine with that.
Did not Tom Brady take his team to a Super Bowl after an ACL injury? He lost it, but
Did.
did he not do it?
But he also tore his
Pretty sure he did.
right at the beginning of the season.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
Like,
And he's not a mobile
Did they go
quarterback
to
like
the
Mahomes
Super Bowl
is.
that year? Did they
What?
go to the Super Bowl? I don't think so. I don't think they went to the Super Bowl that year, did they?
I think they went the next year in 2009, didn't
Did they?
they? Oh,
Wait,
I don't know.
2009, 2010. Okay.
2009, 2010, I don't know, but it's
Uh-huh.
it's pretty close.
I don't know
All
what
right,
still.
all right. Let's talk about the team that everybody forgets about because they're in Vegas now and they should be in Oakland.
Vegas
Ain't no
Raiders.
team in Oakland no more.
Come on, Coach. Tell us how the Raiders are going to win the division.
I'm really not going to tell you that at all. I listen.
Oh,
we,
come on.
you know, we just met. We have a good rapport. I'm not going to see us lying to y'all right off. I'm not going to do that to you. Yeah, the Raiders are really an enigma, and they've always have been. And I love the fact that the Raiders fans are always in my comments, always on my social media posts, talking this and that, and act like they're America's team and they're the world's greatest thing. That is next thing. The best thing is sliced bread. I don't get it. I don't
That
get
kind of
the-
sounds like Dallas Cowboy fans.
Yeah, they have a lot in common. The Dallas fans and Raider fans have a lot in common. They're both obnoxious and they both have delusions of grandeur. Which
Yeah,
never
they ain't won shit for a long time, have they?
They have not. They have not. They have an under 500 record for this millennium. We're in
Super Bowl
2026.
zone
Think
is
about this.
fine.
The Raiders have an under 500 record for this millennium. For almost 26 years into this new millennium, they have an under 500 record as a
Which
team.
is also crazy because they did go to a Super Bowl in this millennium,
And thank you. That tells you
and the
how-
Cowboys have not.
Well, since the
So-
90s, but that's a whole other conversation. Dude is like, y'all just piling on me today. I don't, he just like, I can't.
The Raiders went to a Super Bowl before the Cowboys have. That's crazy. Continue. I'm sorry, Coach.
Cowboys will have been much better than the Raiders in that space too, as well, after that Super Bowl. But yes, I don't know. I mean, you would like to believe, but again, it's one of those things. It's like the Jets, where they always had this stink on them that they just can't never seem to get out of their own way. So they have that going for them or not. But I do like the changes they made. I do like the roster moves that they made. They went out and got Fernando Mendoza. They've got Kirk Cousins. They got all the intangibles of a rebuilding team that's trending upward. It's just a matter of what this team is going to look like. Can your former OC, now head coach of the Raiders, be a good head coach? Can he call plays on his own dime, and can he run the organization like it needs to be ran? Can he get the guys to buy in? Can he be the leader? Because sometimes it happens. Good OCs don't always make great head coaches, so that's a question mark. When will we see Fernando Mendoza? We don't know. They're all playing a 4-play schedule, so they got all the things working for them to be an ascending team. It's just a question of what they're going to be like in 2026. I mean, I would say this: if Kirk Cousins plays the whole season, they're definitely going to be picking top 10 in the draft next year. I will say that. Kirk Cousins has no business being on anybody's field at this point, playing quarterback for any length of time outside of maybe one game as a backup.
I think they'll be picking top 10 no matter who plays quarterback. But
you could be right. I'm not saying that you're wrong in that space at all either. But I try to be objective. Because they always say I'm biased because I'm a Chargers fan. So I try to give them objective opinions as much as possible. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a rough one. I mean, I think they will probably hovering in and around between 6-10, 7-9, maybe if they're lucky.
You're gracious.
Hey, super gracious. Damn.
You are worried about them people coming at you, man.
No,
you go ahead and say what you really feel.
Because they got a lot of cupcakes on the schedule. They got Miami out here. They got the Jets out here. They got Arizona out here. They got Tennessee.
You don't think Malik Willis can beat the Raiders?
I don't know. Respect for Nestor, I'm gonna say I don't know. I don't know, but again,
I think Phillip Rivers could beat the Raiders. To be honest with you, I don't care what
by himself probably, but yeah. What are the Saints going to be like? They got some tough games, but they got some cupcake games. I think that from a winnable game perspective, I think it's Tennessee, Arizona. That's 2 winnables. Browns is a winnable. That's 3. Jets is a winnable game. Dolphins is a winnable game. The Saints is potentially a winnable game. But you're probably looking at 5, 6, maybe 7 if you're lucky. I think the ceiling might be 7. The floor might be 5. If I'm being generous. It is a new regime. It's a lot to be understood about the team because it's all brand new. I mean, new offensive coordinator, new head coach, new quarterbacks. O-line is different. The defense, they got some pieces on defense now. They spent a lot of money, brought Max Crosby back, so they got a lot of talent on the team. It's just whether or not they can put it all together and coach them to the level where they win any football games is the question. So yeah, I'm hovering around between 7.
I don't understand why you're the most gracious against your rivals when it comes to the Raiders.
He knows them well.
You are very, very nice.
I know they're terrible, but they always play you tough for some reason. That's why the only thing I get them. They play you tough. They don't necessarily win, but they play you tough. Tougher than you think they would.
They don't play tough.
Tough don't mean wins. I'm not saying that either. Yeah, but we'll see. But yeah, I think 5
losers.
G-Money.
G-Money. Where are they going, G-Money?
So what I want to know is why the fuck are the tickets so expensive when I want to go there?
Exactly.
The fuck is that all about?
When they play Seattle, that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is. I'm looking at the tickets right now going, you have lost your motherfucking mind. $1,300, $1,500, I could get a ticket to the World Cup game when U.S. was playing Belgium. If I could have just gotten there in time, I would have been. Anyway,
Money and I tried to go to Vegas 3 times. It ain't working.
I do indeed think the Raiders will be better than they were last year. They'll play better. Who their quarterback's going to be, I don't know. I mean, if they're thinking that Kirk Chains is going to be their starting quarterback, that's what Atlanta thought last year, and that didn't work out well for them. I think probably at some point Mendoza is going to be be their starting quarterback, and it could be like week 2 or 3. And let's not forget that the Raiders tried to trade Max Crosby, and Baltimore said, "Yeah, thanks, no thanks," but he's injured and we don't want him. So Max has got to be feeling really good about going back to Vegas and like, yeah, motherfuckers tried to trade me. Nobody wants me. Fuck you. And by the way, you had me sit the last 3 weeks of the season when I was healthy enough to play.
That's a great point.
And Coach is right, man. The Raiders have been just abysmal this millennium. I mean, if you're a Raiders fan and you're like 21, 22, you don't remember them winning. You have no clue. I mean, you're like an Arizona fan. Well, no, an Arizona fan at least can look back and say, yeah, we went to the Super Bowl and we had Kurt Warner at quarterback. I was still a teenager when that happened, young teenager. But no, I got them winning 5 games. And that's generous. That's having them sneak up on a team or two that probably looks past them because their next game is going to be a lot harder. So the players, not the coaches never look past that game, but players consciously at times, they're like, oh, we're playing the Raiders. Who's our next? Oh, we're playing the Rams after. You start thinking about the Rams and you forget about the Raiders. So I have them sneaking up on a couple of teams and beating them that they probably normally, if they were playing like the Raiders and then the Jets, you'd be like, okay, let's beat the fuck out of the Raiders and then move on to the Jets. So 5-12, 5-12, probably picking the top 4 in the draft. Maybe get another quarterback. Who knows?
That's hilarious. Have to pick one first overall this year. That's crazy. Yeah. Call me petty, but I have a stat here, y'all, for Raiders fans. It's 2000. They are 164 and 257 with a .39 winning percentage.
God damn.
In the last 25 years.
That's like Browns numbers.
Yeah. It's up there.
It's almost like Cardinals numbers.
And
it's almost like they drafted Jamarcus Russell. It's during that time frame.
I think they did.
All right, June. Keep us going here, June. Come on, baby.
Well, I guess I'm down on the Raiders because I got them picking number 1 next year in the draft.
Over the Jets?
The Raiders
are terrible. The Raiders are terrible. There's no rhyme or reason. I believe that at some point they're going to start coming up, but it's not going to be for 2 years. I think they're just down. And I think they're going to need those draft picks. I think eventually they are going to get rid of Crosby so they can start getting young guys in this organization, and maybe Brady can get his feet wetter into this ownership thing, and he start really taking over from the bad haircut guy. Maybe Brady can be that voice of reason, and the bad haircut guy can go live on an island somewhere with his 22-year-old girlfriend and just let Mr. Brady run it. Because I just think the Raiders are a god-awful football team. And they're going to be bad. I got them at 4-13. And they're only going to win 4 games. And they're only going to win 4 games because at the end of the season, people are going to be resting their teams. That's the only damn reason they're going to win 4 games. I do think they're going to get a win first week of the season. I do believe that.
Yeah. Shots fired.
I'm just saying. Let's just face it. They're going to win their first game of the season.
All right.
Let's face it.
Did y'all hit a gunshots in the background?
Yeah. Oh, man. I heard it, man. That was,
but other than
that was like the OK Corral there. Shit.
June, the way it's going, I think Miami has the first overall pick. We got them losing like every freaking game.
I've yet to
But
hear
I think
one
that-
person say a win on that side.
Hey,
Wow.
well, I will say this.
4-13, Dave. 4-13.
First of all, how for someone as rich as Mark Davis, how does he have a worse haircut than June and G Money? Like,
We're just bald.
they're bald, and Mark Davis has a worse haircut than bald.
What?
Like, it's crazy because he has so much money
First
and
of
he
all,
has no hair. Like, I don't understand who his stylist is. It's crazy.
His barber is the same barber he's had for like the last 45 years.
Out the disrespect that ESPN has to the Las Vegas Raiders because I tried to pull up their depth chart, and that's all they gave me.
I saw that too. Hit refresh
for their depth chart.
Hit refresh.
They gave me their left side cornerback and a free safety.
Oh man,
that's all they give you on their depth chart.
That's funny.
ESPN's like, we're not even going to put in the effort.
Waste time.
To
Why?
log in all this shit. We're not waiting. Ain't nobody coming on this page to look at the Raiders.
That is funny.
So we're just not going there.
They got 3
I got them at 5 wins. I got them at 5 wins. I feel like that's generous. I do think that one of those 5 wins is going to be the reason why they're going to end up with 5 wins because early on in the season, Kirko Chains is going to have a game where he throws for 5 touchdowns. And he's going to be like, you like that? You like that? And then he's going to lose 4 or 5 in a row, and they're going to go to Mendoza later than they should have because Cousins will have one game that makes them think, oh, we got something here. But they don't because they're going to keep losing. And Mendoza is going to start looking a lot like California Berkeley Mendoza versus Indiana Mendoza. Not a lot of people remember any highlights from him playing at Cal, do they? That's right, because there wasn't many. So he's probably going to end up playing a lot more like Cal Mendoza than Indiana Mendoza. But he is tough as nails. I do think that at some point he can be a winner, but it's definitely not going to be his first year. Not with this schedule. Not going up against the NFC West and the AFC East. It's just not going to happen. I got 5 wins, Jalen.
All right, Nestor.
For the Raiders, first of all, I think the Dolphins hate is disrespectful. They're going to be a great team. With that being said, week 1, Raiders are going to win that game.
Wow.
They're going to get 5 wins. It's funny. I have the Dolphins so far 0-4 based on this predictor thing that we're using. So already off to a bad start. But yeah, I think the Raiders they're like not as bad as the Jets as an organization, as in trying to get out of the gate, if it's a race. The Jets are like running in the wrong direction. The Raiders just can't seem to get out of the gate. And it's they got the pieces they got certain pieces. They got Brock Bowers. I mean, they do have Ashton Genty. So it's starting to come together. Will they execute? Time will tell. And if whether Mendoza is the piece that glues them together. But I got them at 5 wins. I think that's decent considering their schedule. So yeah, I think that's fair.
Well, I've got them at 6 wins, and I also have them winning week 1. And I think Kirko Chains will be riding high for probably 1 whole week. Yeah, I mean, I do think they'll beat New Orleans. I've got them winning that one on the road because I think, New Orleans, sheesh. But I also have them winning back-to-back games against Kansas City too at home. But then I've got them losing some pretty bad ones. Like I've got them losing to the Jets. I've got them losing to Cleveland. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a rough year for them, but at least they'll have some signs of optimism. I don't think they'll be the number 1 pick again next year, but they will probably be up there near the top. So yeah, 6 wins for the Raiders. Really don't have much to say about them. So all right, that means AFC West is in the books. Anything else you guys want to mention on this division before we get up out of here? I know Coach will be leaving us at halftime, so any last comments here?
Well, I just hope y'all predictions about our other teams in my division are right, and I'm hoping I'm right. That means we win a division, and everybody else is beneath us, and we're riding high, and hopefully have home field advantage. So, based on y'all picks for the Chiefs, the Broncos, and the Raiders, we're good. We're good money. We're good money.
We all got hope at this stage in the game.
Of course.
We do.
Of course, a little bit of delusional hope in the sense of some people, but yeah, everybody has hope.
Outside of Cowboys and Cardinals and Raiders and Dolphins fans, we all got hope.
I do, man.
Well, I mean, in all honesty, reading the Cardinals' comments on the draft, they don't have hope either.
Yeah,
they have no hope. They started off the draft looking, going like, "What the fuck are we doing? This is fucking insane." So they don't have any hope. They don't have no hope right now.
Cowboys got a little bit more hope than Cardinals fans.
Cardinals have a
They
quarterback
do
right now. Is
They-
Brissett still holding out? I think he is. Brissett still
Yeah,
holding out.
Brissett's still
Yeah.
out now.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
He wants starter money. If you want me to
That's
start,
crazy.
give me starter money.
I need to pay me extra to play quarterback at Arizona, but that's just me.
Oh, Jacoby, good luck in all your endeavors over there.
Yeah, good luck. Yeah.
Well, that's going to do it for the first half. Coach, thank you so much for joining us. People at home, be sure to follow the Electric Shop podcast, all the different platforms. Again, all the links are down in the description below. We'll have to have you back on during the season. We'll check back in once some ball's been played so we can see what's going on, where your head is at. So, yeah, folks, we will see you in about 10 minutes, so sit tight. Welcome back, folks, to the second half of your favorite show on the internet, AFR episode 295. We're back, and we are going to take a cheers to the second half.
Whose team is that?
I'm just over here wondering why my kids are always walking on the fucking couch. What is always doing some bullshit?
Because they're kids.
So let you
Oh, my
eliminate here.
gosh. I don't know. Wednesday night.
Hey, what the?
Oh, all right. Okay. Starting off the second half, pretty much the rest of the show is all World Cup stuff. So we're kind of talking the matches that we just saw this past week, and then we're going to be predicting the final quarterfinal matches. So, we're going to start off with the fact that the U.S., Colombia, and Portugal all are at home now, sent off packing after disappointing performance after disappointing performance. Let's start off with the good old U.S. of A, shall we? Folks, 2 days removed from our 250th birthday, we come out and lay a stinker on a Monday Night Football. The Monday Night Football. And we just completely shit the bed. Belgium's got our number. What did you guys think about the way we went out?
I mean, it's soccer. It's soccer, man.
What's that?
It's football.
I mean, it
You
happens.
sound like Michael Cera and Superbad.
I just, like I put in the chat, I'm glad we made out a pool play. That's all I cared about was making out a pool play. I don't want to be embarrassed on the world stage or not be the only host country to not make it out the pool play, but we did. And so I think it was great. So we went out. It was Belgium. Belgium's a good team. Can't beat them, obviously. But it just happens. Did we look like shit? Yeah, we did. It's a better team. When we start getting into these rounds, you're going to start playing the best teams. I know a lot of people are sad, but guess what? Guess what? It's part of the game. We're not good enough in this sport to make a difference. So I'm glad for where we were. It was nice. It was a great story, but it's over now.
G-Money, what do you think?
When you get to the round of 16, you start playing tougher teams, and tend to think it's funny because this was supposed to be the best team the U.S. has ever had that they're presenting to the world, and you had the issue with the red card being rescinded. I don't know how that probably played absolutely nothing into how the game played, at least on the American side. But the Americans didn't play well at all. And you expected them to at least have a good showing. If they'd lost 2-1 to Belgium and played well, you're like, okay, they played well. They didn't play well. I mean, Belgium scored, 8 minutes into the game? I mean, I was in the beer line still, trying to get a beer when they scored. And it's funny because where I was at, this just shows you the height of American football, is that fans started cheering. I'm like, there's Belgium fans here? No. They thought America had scored. I'm like, guys, that's not America. America's wearing blue. Like, oh. And then the free kick. That was awesome. That was when America scored and they tied the game up on that. The place erupted. It was like a mini earthquake. It was like being at Lumen Field with Beastquake. That's how it shook. But that was it. That was the moment, and that was the only moment the U.S. had. Belgium controlled the midfield. We couldn't do anything on this either one of the sides. Our defense crumbled, and it's unfortunate. But football is not the number one sport here in the United States, or soccer as you want to call it. It's the fifth sport. I guarantee you that just because we had over 40 million people watching that match, you're not going to have that many people watching an MLS game. And if you ask anybody a year from now who's on the USA soccer team, they won't know. Or where these players are playing, they won't know. And maybe, and until we can create a product that is good enough to get past the round of 16, this is where we're going to be. Our goalies, we need to have goalies go play in Europe, because having goalies out of the MLS, not the same. I was telling Malin the other night, I said, the MLS, if it played in Europe, would be like a second or third tier league.
They'd be a rec league.
No, they wouldn't be a rec league. They'd be like, in England, they'd be like a second or third division team, which is like 3 to 4 tiers below the Premier League. Mm-hmm. That's where they'd be. But you'd get a lot of experience. They've got to get better. And I think maybe the moment just overwhelmed them. It's hard for me to grasp how a moment in time can overwhelm you so much, and you feel so much pressure that you play so bad. Because that's exactly what happened. I think, and if you ask anybody, Seattle, my God, it's the best place to play football or soccer. The best place. They marched all the way down from the pier up. There was over 13,000 fans marching, chanting. You've got drums. You've got everything. I mean, it's almost like going to Europe and watching a game. Yeah, doing the pregame, basically. You march to the stadium. You're chanting. You go into the stadium. You're chanting. And maybe that just overwhelmed the U.S. I don't know. They just did not play well. They did not play well at all. And losing, let's say 3-1, because the fourth goal was a gimme, basically. But losing, it's guys, you got to play better. You have to play better on the national stage. You've got to. Or this is where we're going to be, and we're never going to move forward.
I'll say this, that the two things that I said that needed to happen for it to be a success was we needed to win the group stage and we needed to win a knockout round, which we did both of those two things. Now, how we won the group stage was different than how I thought we would. This is the first time that, since 1930, the U.S. has won 3 games. It's the first time since 2002 you've won a knockout game. So I've seen the U.S. win 2 knockout games in my lifetime. So I can't call it a failure. It sucks the way they lost. I think that's what most people are dwelling on. Like if they'd have lost like 2-1 or something like that. But just the U.S. just never really seemed to get into the match. They just on defense they're flat-footed. Reem, you can kiss my ass. Go somewhere else. The goalie, I don't know what the fuck he was thinking. Like there was just inexplicable things that happened during that match to where you're like, okay, you guys didn't play like this even in the loss to Turkey. Like you guys didn't play like this. Like what is this? They tied the game at 1-1 and everyone's so excited that lasted 61 seconds. That's great. So Pulisic, I'm kind of tired about hearing him being the best U.S. player at this point. I agree with Landon Donovan that if he'd had the same type of leg injury that Pulisic had, You'd have had to drug him to get him off the field, and he'd be trying to punch doctors. He would have tried to play through anything to stay in that match. And plus, let's not forget the fact that he opted not to play in the Gold Cup to be ready for the World Cup, then went half a year without scoring a goal. But his energy was great when he was healthy. He just doesn't seem to always be healthy. The one thing that I will say about the American fans that really kind of irritated me, Jalen, is there is a fine line between being excited and being arrogant. You win a couple World Cup matches, you win your group stage, and our country was like, we're going to win the whole thing. And I was like, are you, like, seriously? Like, there's so many parts of the world that already think they were idiots, and you guys are out here on the world stage talking this nonsense. So, I mean, excited, yes, I was excited. But was I like, are we going to beat the hell out of Belgium? No. And then I also don't like the fact that you lose on Monday and these same fans are just ripping to shreds everything about U.S. soccer after they lost. Like it was, we're going to win it all. And then Pulisic's a bitch. Our coach sucks. We have no talent at the youth level. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, Jesus Christ, man. I was like, why can't you just enjoy the ride? Like, we went to the round of 16. Home World Cup. We weren't going to win it all. We're not the same as, like, you know, G-Money's rooting for England. Nestor's rooting for Argentina. We're not on that level. So if they would have lost it at the round of 16, yeah, that would have been bad. Us losing at round of 16, that's kind of status quo. But it was a great ride. It's been a great World Cup. I'm really looking forward to the quarterfinals. Portugal losing, Ronaldo, you didn't do shit in the World Cup ever anyways. So I'm not really concerned about Portugal losing again in the group 16. And the fact that you equated winning the Euros the same as winning the World Cup, shut the fuck up with your 41-year-old ass. It's not the same. The World Cup is different than the Euros for a fucking reason. So whatever. I'm done.
Germany losing is a big deal. Your U.S. losing is not a big deal. Okay? That's a big deal.
Good way of putting it.
I would say like how the US played was embarrassing. To have a great team and to go out there and play like that, it was just horrible. It was ugly to watch. And yeah, we could say, well, the US is like, soccer really isn't that important to the US, but like, you know, it should be in a way. Like we should want to dominate in every sport. At the end of the day, like that's kind of like the point. Like Japan doesn't say, you know, we're great at baseball, you know, who cares about soccer? Like, no, they've actually improved their soccer program a lot, and they can compete with a good team because of that. Like G Bunny said earlier, they just kind of gave up. And at a certain point, you know, my brother played soccer, and I remember the coaches teaching them how to be completely awful at the sport. Instead of just passing techniques, they were just being taught like kickball. Like, you know, if the ball is over here, there's too much pressure, just kick the ball away. Or like just use your body in this weird motion and you just look clunky. And you just can't do that in soccer because you get ran over completely and demolished. So there's just a huge difference. They need to change their soccer program. Like they made Lumen Field quiet.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact that it's never quiet. So that's insane to me. I mean, it's just terrible. And I don't know, we're talking about Colombia next. We'll take turns about, you know, but that made me very happy. That was one of the highlights. I kind of felt like going to Armature Works and rage baiting the a watch party over there. But I was like, no, I didn't have time. It sucked. But I didn't even want to make fun of them anymore. I'm just glad that somebody's out there. There's like somebody out there that knows that I get to laugh at her team twice.
Esther, that I don't think the U.S. is ever going to be a real player in soccer, football, whatever we want to call it, simply for the fact that our best athletes, if you have a chance to come to stay in the U.S. and make millions of dollars,
That's true.
and you don't have to go overseas to play a sport to make a lot of money and to be the best of the best, like they're always going to choose the sport to stay stateside. MLS has to do a lot better job than what they've done to make the sport more viable. I just don't think it's going to happen. I mean, I saw some random ass guy, Jalen. He's an SEC podcaster. He said, you know what you need to do? You need to take all of the defensive backs and wide receivers from the SEC that don't make it to the NFL and throw them all into U.S. soccer. I was like, it's not that fucking easy. Like, it's not. It's like, yeah, they're athletic. There's probably a lot of really athletic and quick people, but it's not that easy. You can't make a bunch of 22-year-old people that have played football their whole life and teach them soccer. They've used their feet to run fast, not to use techniques and stuff. I was like, Jesus Christ. But that was a
we're
funny
still
take
good.
that I heard.
But don't forget, yes, we're talking about men's soccer. Women's soccer, we still dominate.
True.
We are still the best in the world.
We do.
We are still the best in the world.
And that's
in women's soccer.
But that's because there's not that many women's professional sports where women can make money. I mean, WNBA now is stepping up where they can make more money playing there and staying
There's not a
stateside.
professional softball league. There's not a football league. There's not all these other leagues.
Yes,
there is, but they don't make.
Okay,
there are those leagues, but they
professional,
don't. But
yes,
they don't make the money.
Yeah, professional, yes,
they,
but they're not. Yeah, so it's like you got soccer in the WNBA. So your best athletes on the women's side are playing those two sports.
And you've got women's hockey too.
Yeah, and women's hockey, and Title IX has helped a lot. And let's not forget, there's a lot of countries in the world that are like, fuck women. We don't even want you playing sports. So it does make it a little bit easier. But the women do get to make more money because the men made it to the round of 16 again. So let's not forget that. Women's soccer makes more money because the men made more money.
All right. Does anybody have any strong thoughts on Colombia or Portugal before we move on to like England and Argentina?
Can I just say, it is insane to me. It's insane to me how Ronaldo just not only compared whatever international trophy he won over there with in Europe to the World Cup, but the way he talked about himself in third person. This is why we like Messi fans, we criticize his fans so much, because this man talked about himself in third person and was like, well, his entire country, he was just like, before Ronaldo, they had 0 trophies. After Ronaldo, we have 3 trophies. Like, yeah, bro, what about the rest of your team? Like, you guys are stacked. And Eder, who was the one who scored the winning goal in that Euro Cup against the French, like, damn, no credit whatsoever.
Isn't it also wild what Messi has done in 4 years? Because 4 years ago, there seemed to be a legitimate argument who was better, Ronaldo or Messi. And then in 4 years, Messi's like won a World Cup, went to the MLS, won some MVPs, won some MLS Cups, and now I'm back in the World Cup, and I'm leading the Golden Boot right now. So it's like,
He's competing
and
with some
Ronaldo's out.
20-year-olds. Like, it's insane.
It's wild what he's done in 4 years.
Right.
Someone
All
needs
right.
to do a wellness check on Speed. Make sure he's all right.
Man, fuck Speed. The fact that ESPN keeps covering his ass, Jesus Christ, no one gives a shit about his reactions
But
to
Jameis
every
Winston,
World
though?
Cup game.
Oh,
Like,
my
yes, I'm jealous of the money he has that he gets to go to all these matches and do whatever the fuck he wants. But shut the fuck up. God damn.
All right, let's move on to England and Argentina moving into the quarterfinals in dramatic fashion for both teams. The Mexico-England match was a whole movie. That was one of the best matches of the entire tournament. So we'll start there. What did you guys think of England winning in Mexico?
Well, before
Okay.
G Money goes, I would like to say that is the lone person that picked England to win. I was happy. Got a little nervous after that red card. But when they got that goal down a player, I was like, it's done. And if the US can't shut up Mexico, I'm glad that the UK could. And England, thank you. Thank you, Three Lions, for shutting up them Aztecas bastards. Go ahead, G-Money.
Okay. I had said on last week's show that my heart was for England. My head was going Mexico because they're playing in Mexico. They hadn't lost since 2013, playing at that high elevation and everything. And I also said that if England won on this show, I would sing God Save the King and eat beans on toast, bitches. So
That's what
sit
he was
the
doing.
fuck back and listen.
That's what he was doing.
God save our gracious King. Long live our noble King. God save the King. Boom, 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 boom. Send him victorious, happy and glorious, long to reign over us. God save the King. Beans on toast, bitches.
Why? Why in the
Never
fuck
forget
is
the
that a
World Cup
thing?
games.
Why the fuck is that a thing?
Anyone
World Cup games
else?
possible.
Anyone else get weirded out that it's God Save the King and not God Save the Queen because it was
every time
Queen
somebody
for our
says
entire lives,
that.
but now we got a King finally in our lifetime, and now it's God Save the King. It's God Save the Queen for like 40 years for me. Now, when Gary said God
My
Save the
whole
King,
life
I was
is-
like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
I just want to say this. It was a great match. Mexico had opportunities to win that match, and they just didn't take advantage of it. What was that one? Did you see that one goal where what was the one guy, the main guy, and he just the goal was wide open. He kicked it over the top. I was like,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
are you doing, bro? And I was like, oh no, Keonis missed a wide open goal.
Very happy
And I
for
was
him.
like, oh my God, man.
Could have happened to a better group of people.
I wanted
I mean-
Mexico to win so bad. I just wanted them to win, you know. I wanted them to win the whole thing because I wanted to see, you know, our president have to present them with the cup. I wanted to see that shit. I wanted to see that shit. See all the shit.
I think it'd be great if Trump had to present it to England, you know, the country that burnt down the White House, which is almost what he's doing right now. But I think that would have been great. But
Bridget says, "Sing it, G Money." And then cheers, mate.
I think
G-Money, you
England
can feel free to spit that
saved
out.
us from. What happened?
Go ahead.
I think England saved us from noise pollution. I think now Mexico for the last 4 years hasn't been great. I feel like they got a little bit of I think they received a little bit of a of help. Um, that they were playing at home all those games, and that's great for them. But as soon as I don't know, as soon as they played, I think a good team, um, it was over for them. I think England has improved a lot. I think the old England would have choked. That is not that England. With Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane, they're just different. And I throughout the entire game, I don't think I ever saw that Mexico could win the game. I always felt like England always knew what to do next. Mexico just kind of pretended they could win, and honestly, I don't tend to speak like that, but they did kind of receive some help from the ref a little bit, and it still wasn't enough. The fact that it still wasn't enough to beat England with a red card goes to show there's just different levels at work here.
Right.
So, good for England. And I don't know. I want to say great. Mexico had a great run, but the way the fans were acting in Mexico, with the Ecuador fans, I felt like it was a little bit unfair. But they've always been a great team, so hats off to them. Still some respect. But yeah.
All right, let's move on to Argentina yesterday. In very dramatic fashion, getting the job done against Egypt when they were down 2 goals pretty late in the damn match, and they were able to come right back out of the jaws of death there and come out victorious. It was unbelievable. What did you guys think of Argentina winning 3-2 in the end?
Well, I think that Egypt can shut the fuck up when it comes to, this is just Argentina's going to widget. Now, if Argentina does win the whole thing, then Egypt's going to be like, we told you so. That will happen. We all need to brace ourselves if that does happen. But, that the goal that was nullified by the penalty when they were up 1-0 was a foul. I have since, from talking with G Money, I have understood that, like when it comes to fouls and yellow cards and red cards, like intent in World Cup soccer, like it has nothing to do with it. I was always looking at all this stuff through an American NFL lens of like intent with targeting and stuff like that, where they throw that into it. Now, where Egypt has a little bit of a gripe on that is that they have been using VAR in a way that was not intended in the World Cup. And that does fall into the category the way they used it to nullify that goal, the same way that Balogun got a red card in the U.S. match, and that did upset me. We went from nothing to a red card because they used VAR. They're not supposed to be using VAR that way, but they did. But the simple fact of the matter is that, in the 79th minute, you're up 2-0. But once Argentina scored 1 goal, it was like Egypt, shit pyramids and just turned into dead pharaohs. Like, they just stopped. Like, they realized they're like, oh, shit. Right? Like they were just as bad as the Americans against Belgium after that. Defense flat-footed, out of position all the time, crazy shit. And I was like, goddamn, like in that 13-minute time span, that did not look like the Egypt team that played for 79 minutes. If that same Egypt team, after Argentina scored that first goal, if they continued to play the way they did the first 79 minutes, Egypt would have won that match. But they got scared. They saw ghosts. Like Sam Darnold against the Patriots. They were seeing ghosts out there. When he was with the Jets, not in the Super Bowl. Sorry, Jan, we won that one. But yeah, like Egypt just shit the bed. Just plain and simple. Argentina there is luck involved when you come back from down 2-0 in the 79th minute. There's a reason why that's never been done before. Down 2-0 in the 79th minute. There is luck involved. But when you got arguably or inarguably the best soccer player to ever play the game on the other team, even when he's missing penalty kicks and you still win the match, like Jesus Christ. So hats off to Argentina. I'm rooting for an England Argentina final. I want G Money and Nestor head to head. Let's do it.
That's what we need.
That's what I want.
Well, at least it won't be played in Mexico.
No.
Go ahead, Nestor.
First of all, quick thing. I felt all the energy at the Argentina game versus Cape Verde. Hats off to them. Like, they were such a great team. It's just, you know, the damn heat and the stadium. I made up my mind in an instant that I'm like, I'm never watching a Dolphins game over here. Absolutely fuck not. I'm never doing it, especially not to lose. I'm not doing it. I'm gonna just watch it comfortably with AC from the TV. But anyway, against Egypt, I love that the coach threw a tantrum. That's exactly what it was, a full-blown tantrum. Salah is exactly what you should do. You take the L and you just, walk away. Like, it is what it is. You played against the greatest player of all time when it comes to soccer. Like Malin said, it should have been wraps. For any other team, that would have been it. Down 2-0, and you're really not playing well. And Messi wasn't playing well up until maybe the 70th minute. Then you got that assist, and then you got the goal, and then things changed. So hopefully Argentina stops doing this to me, because it's my blood pressure has been going through the roof. But yeah, the last two games have been movies with them. Like, it's been pure cinema, especially being there for the Cape Verde game. Those fans were awesome. After the game, some Argentinian fans were like swapping jerseys with the Cape Verde fans, and it was really nice to see. And just hugging them and saying like they knew them, like just celebrating with them. So yeah, it's been great. I don't get the Egypt, the calling it unfair or something. I looked at the calls. When you have VAR, it's not just AI up there. It's not ChatGPT. It's 4 or 5 other humans,
Right?
And they're interpreting things in their own way. Like, it's not just technology.
Yeah.
So we gotta remember that.
Yeah. At the end of the day, right? It's like the VAR is just a tool that people are then using to make a decision on at the end. So something tells me though that the Argentinian fans were not exchanging jerseys with the Egyptian fans at the end of that game.
No.
I don't think that probably stopped previous game.
Well, animosity.
All right, we do really need to move on to the ride or die in 5, because it is already 11:36. So time to keep it pushing here, and we've got games to predict. So ride or die in 5 this week. Or last week was kind of weird because we picked a bunch of games. We picked 10 different games, which I'm pretty sure that's the first time we've ever picked that many at once. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
I blame drunk Malin for that.
Yeah.
Deciding that we should pick like as many all the games that are on the schedule. It's a wonder we didn't start picking preseason NFL games.
Nestor, G Money, myself, all of us besides Malin went 7-3. Malin went 9-1. He can thank his own country for that one L. And then Frank went 6-4. So
wait, hold on. Who went 9-1?
Oh
Not you. Not you. Drunk Malin went 9-1, who forced us to pick 10 games and was contemplating whether we should pick NFL preseason games as well.
Who is the now football soccer expert? Who's that person? 9-1.
You're still not.
You're still 9-1.
You're still not.
We went 9-1.
My grandma could have picked 9-1. Okay.
Well, your grandma's smarter than you, then, because you sure shit didn't.
I did not. I was picking the stars and stripes, baby.
Well, so did I. That's why I'm 9-1. Would have been 10-0 if it wasn't for my homer ass. Would have been.
Yeah. And then, of course, it didn't help that Brazil.
All right. Let's get to the first match. Tomorrow at 4:00, we've got France and Morocco. G Money, we will start with you.
I'm going with France. Right now, they are the class of the tournament. Doesn't mean that Morocco can't beat them, but it'll take a Herculean effort on Morocco's part and for France to play like the U.S. did against Belgium. And I don't see that happening.
I agree 100%. Give me France here. June.
Yep, taking France. A good run for Morocco. Smallest nation left in the tournament. They've had a great run. So, but this is the end for them.
Malin.
Listen, I'm taking France in a ride or die in 5. But where my heart is going to be at is going to be Morocco, and I will explain that at the end of all of our picks. But the smart money says take France. The get rich money might be saying something a little different. But we're taking France.
Nestor.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with France. I like that we're all taking France.
Mbappe.
All right. Friday's game, we've got Spain and Belgium here. I'm taking Spain. Listen, man, Belgium is a fantastic team. And, full of kind of older stars there, but Spain has their way of playing that it's very much their brand of football. Of we're going to control this damn ball. You ain't gonna touch it. We don't care. You're not getting the ball. Like, this is not the U.S. We actually know how to make decisive passes, and we're going to just basically play keep away. If we need to win 1-0, no problem. So I think Belgium, by just basically losing the time of possession battle, I think they're not going to be able to win this game against the Spanish here. So give me Spain in a low, just very similar to how they beat Portugal in like a 1-0, maybe a 2-1. But either way, give me Spain. June.
Yeah, I'm taking Spain. I think they're just they're a better team. They're more disciplined. I think they're just gonna, like you said, they're just gonna hold the ball and they're gonna score when they need to, and they'll win 1-0. They'll make the game ugly and they'll come out on top.
Malin.
I'm actually going to take Belgium on this one. I don't think Spain played necessarily well against Portugal. I think Portugal is not as good as what everyone, well, not everyone, because not even a lot of people thought Portugal was that great. And I don't think Spain played that great in that game. I do think that this is the last ride for a lot of these Belgium players. I think they're going to play their heart out. And I'm going to go ahead and this is going to be my one dark horse on this ride or die. I'm going to go ahead and go Belgium on this one. I just think that they're playing really good. And this has nothing to do with just beating the U.S. I just think that they've been playing solid, and I don't think that Spain is played up to their talent thus far. So I'm going to go and take Belgium on this one.
Nestor.
Although Spain's coach is an idiot who doesn't know how to use his best players, like Nico Williams, I think they're also a very organized team that hasn't really. I don't think they've conceded a goal. Belgium has been playing great, but I'm gonna give this one to Spain.
And G Money.
Yeah, the reigning European champions. People look at Belgium and go, well, they beat the U.S. and look how they did this. It's like Spain's a better team. Player for player, Spain is a better team, regardless of their incompetent manager and the fact that Yamal hasn't shown up yet. I don't know where he is. Maybe he's in New York. Maybe, I don't know. But maybe he needs to show up for this match and play. But I just think Spain wins this one. And it may well be a 1-0 or 2-1 game. But I just see Spain winning this game.
All right. Saturday, Norway versus England, June.
I'm going Vikings. The Norwegians. They're going to take England out and win this match.
Ooh.
All right, Malin.
You know what? I'm taking England again. Norway may have somebody that looks like he needs to be a leading part in the House of Dragon series on HBO. And he's a big motherfucker. But they also play a very interesting style with him to where like he lurks and he walks around a lot and then he gets real aggressive at the end. And I think that England defensively is going to keep a hat on him, so to speak. I don't know if I'm using the right terminology when it comes to soccer or not. But I think that they're going to have enough tape on them. I love the athleticism of the England team. Defense, to me, has been playing really well. I just don't think that Norway has the shooters that England has. And England has the ability to get penalty kicks. They find themselves in position to get penalty kick, a lot like Argentina does. England and Argentina in the World Cup have been getting more penalty kicks than anybody else, I think. And I think England's at least going to get one, and I think that one could end up being the deciding factor. So I'm going to take England on this one.
Nestor.
Yeah, I think Holland is great, and Norway has been playing pretty good, but England won't make the same mistakes the Brazilians made in the first half, missing a penalty, missing a wide open chance at goal. They're not going to make those mistakes. England is a much more well-rounded team. Has been playing great, so give me England.
G Money.
Yeah, I mean, Norway's playing well, and Holland is right up there, goals scored for this World Cup. But Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham, who showed up in the Mexico game, scoring 2 goals in the span of 4 minutes. Yeah, I know. We were waiting for him to show up. We thought it was going to be the Harry Kane show, and then Jude showed up. I think that's going to be too much for Norway. They play well. They play real well. But they also kind of forget that Tuchel, the manager for England, comes up with some real good game plans and how to manage against star players. And let's not forget that Holland, I think, played for Man City, and I think a couple of our defenders play for Man City too. So they may have a few tricks up their sleeves about how to stop him. So give me England. Probably my guess score-wise would be 2-1 England.
Yeah, I'm also gonna go England here. They just seem to be on a run of destiny. Like at this point, they find a way to win. No matter what kind of match they find themselves in, they can just outplay their opponent. So that Mexico match showed me a lot. Norway has been very interesting. I mean, Holland is just an absolute monster, but I think, like Malin said, England's defense should have some sort of a strategy specifically for him to just keep him from, absolutely dominating. So, yeah, give me England in this one.
Jalen, I am so bullish on English winning this one that I think that Harry Kane is going to be maybe at the end of these quarters 1 goal off of being in the lead for the Golden Boot. I think he's going to have himself a game.
I'm all for it. I would love for you to be right. And then last one, Argentina versus Switzerland here. Malin.
I'm going Argentina. First of all, Switzerland has had a great ride. They have. But we see it in sports all the time where one team is just riding a magic carpet that other teams aren't right now. And I don't know when that magic carpet is going to touch down for Argentina, but I don't think it's going to be this round. I like Argentina in this match, mainly because they had a scare against Egypt. I think they're going to come out more focused in this next match. They're not going to want to put themselves in the position they were the last time. The only thing that actually kind of concerns me a little bit about Argentina, and we never touched on, it was never a topic, the fact that, Messi is not hitting penalty kicks. And they're going to keep giving them to him, but he's not hitting them. He's missed 4 out of his last 8. Like he's not. I think he's in his own head when it comes to penalty kicks. But off the ball, during the regular match, he's just magnificent, man. The touch. I was talking to G Money about this, to where I always thought in soccer you had to just hit the ball towards the goal as hard as humanly possible. But Messi, I swear to God, every goal he scores, he's only putting half energy into that. He is so methodic about where he wants the ball to go, and it goes wherever he wants to at this stage in his career. And so I think it's going to be another Messi game. I think he's going to score 1 or 2 goals. I think Argentina is going to win this match.
Nestor.
I would say I'm scared about this one, but I've been scared about all the games for good reason, apparently. But I think Switzerland hasn't really shown me anything crazy. They just beat they beat Bosnia. They tied against Qatar in the group stage. I mean, nothing insane from them. They went to penalties with Colombia. Argentina knows Colombia and has beaten them before. It's going to be a tough game, but I think Argentina's going to get it done.
G-Money.
In the last 5 matches, including the extra time against Colombia, Switzerland's only given up three goals. That's it, 3 goals. I get a little concerned, and the fact that if if Argentina comes out and plays the way it has and concedes a goal or two, it may be exceptionally hard for them to come back against the Swiss defense, because they'll pack the box like England did against Mexico, and it'll be exceptionally hard for you to score and tie. That being said, I'm hopeful that the Argentine manager doesn't let them get that complacent where they think that, we can come back. 74 minutes left in the match. We're down by 2. We can come back and score 3. I think Argentina wins this game. I think they win it 2-0. And my lock would be Messi scoring a goal in that match. Since he scored, I think he scored in every match. I have to look it up to make sure, but I'm pretty certain. So that would be my lock. Messi scores against Switzerland, and Argentina wins.
We have had a great World Cup where the heavy hitters have been scoring some goals.
Yeah,
for sure.
We have had a great World Cup in that aspect.
Yeah, I'm also taking Argentina to win this one. So we're all taking France to win. We're all taking Argentina to win. And then Malin is taking Belgium. The rest of us are on Spain. And June is taking Norway. The rest of us are on England. Going over to our locks. G Money, you said yours is Messi to score and Argentina to win.
Well, I mean, we already picked Argentina to win, so that's not even a lock. That's part of the ride and die in 5. But mine is that Messi scores.
Got it.
Scores a goal.
I will say that my lock is for Harry Kane to score a goal and for Messi to score a goal. That is my lock. But if you do want to go for a long shot, gentlemen, and you have access to Hard Rock, okay. Now I am on the record saying I would love an England-Argentina final, right? But if you pick the underdog in all 4 matches, Morocco, Belgium, Norway, and Switzerland, if you throw $10 down on Hard Rock, I did this last night, a $10 bet can net you $8,765.62. So I'm just saying that I would love an England, Argentina final. But if that's not going to happen, and if they are going to lose, they might as well lose this round and me be wrong. And I win $8,000. So if you want to make that bet, America on Hard Rock, go ahead and do it. Pretty good one.
If you don't have access to Hard Rock, MGM has the same bet, but they only pay you when I checked it out this afternoon, a $10 bet will pay you $6,600 and change.
Itches. But $6,000 is nothing to laugh at.
Not on a $10 bet, my friends.
Happily.
Not a $10 bet. If you pick the underdog on all 4, you might win some money. Hey, stranger things have happened, is all I'm saying.
Yes.
That's true. Quite true.
My lock is pretty easy. It's just Mbappe to score.
I'm going Major League Baseball. Angels and Texas Rangers tomorrow night.
What the
And the over-under is 7. I'm taking the over. Shut up, clown. Whose lock is this?
Well, it's your lock, but I could say it's a dumb one, but I mean, shit.
I did last time with Major League
Rangers, Angels. That's where we're
Baseball.
going.
Over 7?
Okay. At least every time I've picked, at least every time I've picked baseball, it's been with a division leader. But you can go ahead.
The Rangers are the division leader, clown.
Oh yeah,
Are they?
they are.
Oh yeah. God damn it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. God damn it. They lost 2 in a row.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope that your lock goes as well as my lock has gone every time where I pick the Mariners. So, but Rangers and Angels, that's the most boring shit I've ever heard in my life.
Well, if the over is 7, man, yeah, it's a possibility.
Not too boring if we make some money off of it.
Mm-hmm.
Still stupid.
You have a lot.
I got Mbappe scores, Harry Kane scores, and the Swiss above just scoring more. A little bit of hate bet in there.
Wow.
What was that?
Yeah.
Okay, so he doesn't. So he does. Okay, so Nestor keeps doing this reverse hate shit, and it works for him a little bit. I think he's losing money on the World Cup at this point, but his Argentina is still advancing, so
It's worth it.
he'll
I mean-
lose money if they can win another cup.
Right.
Did you said
brother
Switzerland
was
to
like-
win? That was your last?
No, he said score one. He
Score
said
one.
the Swiss
Just
to
to
score
a
one.
goal.
We were
Okay.
watching the game the other day, and my brother goes like, "You keep hate betting," and he's just like, "Why is it working?" Because he made the same bet I made, and then that was England Mexico, and I was like, "Yo, you gotta bet on Mexico." Like I'm telling you, he bets on Mexico. All right, I join you. Lost money.
I love the Thanos video that you showed when she asked you how what did it cost you everything.
I don't even tell her how much I bet on these games anymore.
Hey, you were on a heater the first couple rounds, like the first 2 rounds.
Yeah,
Like the first two, the first 2 rounds, you were making some money off of
Until
those.
it got
and
serious.
then I
I was
started
like-
hate betting.
I was like, oh shit, Nestor. He was like $50 bet win 244. He was like easy money, and I was like, easy what? I didn't know what the fuck he was even doing. I was like, God damn. I was like, why didn't you share the easy money, Nestor? He shared it after the fact. It's like
It's like,
It's, minus 1,000.
it's great.
All right.
There's some plenty.
That's gonna do it for this week's episode. We are well over time at this point. Join us next week because we're doing the AFC South, if I remember correctly. So yeah, be sure to tune in then. Thanks again to Coach. Be sure to follow the Electric Shock Podcast on all the different platforms. Be sure to follow June on TikTok. All that stuff is linked down in the description below. We'll see you all next week. Peace out.
Peace.
peace.